It's Newcastle's Hit 106.9 with Nick, Jess and Ducko.
Boys, of course, there's been so much excitement with coronavirus restrictions lifting, nail salons, gyms, pubs reopening. People
being able to work.
Being able to work. Some people liking the working from home. A lot of people desperate to get back into their workplaces, see their colleagues and get back to some sense of routine. However, one party probably not thrilled about working from home ending is our four-legged friends who have probably got very accustomed to their owners, their parents, let's call them, being there with them 24/7. So to discuss transitioning maybe yourself back to work and leaving your four-legged bestie behind, we have Dr. Kate Mornament joining us, animal behaviourist from Pets Behaving Badly, to talk us through how to make that transition as easy for our friends as possible. Good morning, Dr. Kate.
Good morning. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. Is this something we should be concerned about? I feel like I've seen a few headlines around that we do need to ease our pets back into the routine before Corona.
Absolutely. It's something that a lot of people are now concerned about and are anticipating problems with.
So what's the best way to try and ease your cat, dog, whatever your pet is, to kind of not being around as much as you have been over the last couple of months?
So what we need to do is try and replicate our new normal routine before ideally we go back to work full time. So our pets are used to us being at home, and life for them when we're there is way better than when they're not. You know, they get walked, they get treats, they get fed, they get attention and pats. And so they tend to prefer it when we're home compared to when we're not. So what we want to try and do is ease them into that transition as gradually as possible. So start spending a little bit less time with them, teaching them that being on their own or away from us can be a pleasurable experience. So feeding them away from us, giving them puzzle toys and really yummy treats and fun things to do when we're not there can help with the transition.
It's so much easier said than done, though, Dr. Kate. Like, I got myself a pandemic puppy, Pandemic Pam. Now, the vet I went to said everyone's getting pandemic pups. So there's this influx of pups. Everyone's getting them, and they're all going to go back to work. And either some pups will, be neglected, or some will be returned to shelters and stuff. How do you do it with, like, the younger dogs, the younger animals that have never, ever had to deal with us not being around?
Yeah, so that's the big problem. The ability to cope with separation isn't something that young animals are born knowing how to do. It's something that they learn. So as new puppy or kitten owners, it's really up to us to teach our pets that when they're alone, it's okay and it can actually be a good thing. So that's where trying to create a positive association with separation from you is really what can help them cope with you not being there. But the key is to try and do it gradually. You don't want to all of a sudden leave them home 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You want to try with short separations first, leaving them like a meal or a really yummy treat, something they really like, and gradually increase the time that you're away over a number of days. That can help gradually get them used to being on their own and also associating it with positive things.
Dr. Kate, you mentioned the word anxiety there. What does that look like in a pet who is maybe going to experience that separation as owners go back to work?
Yeah, sure. So some of the common signs of, some separation anxiety can vary from quite mild to really extreme. So some of the more mild symptoms could be things like the neighbour complaining that the dog might be barking or whining for a little bit during the day. They might not eat some food when you leave it. They might scratch and make a little bit of a mess or chew some things that they shouldn't. But in more extreme cases, you can see dogs trying to escape the property, causing a lot of damage, howling and whining all day. They might toilet in the house. It can get really bad and stressful for them.
And is this something to be concerned about with dogs that have been living with you for, say, 10 years or so, and they're used to you going out other than this 2 or 3 month period? Are they like, yeah, whatever, we see you sometimes, we don't see you other times? Will they be all right?
Get out.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point. So some animals, they're very flexible and they will just cope with this change, no problem at all. It's part of their personality that they adapt well to change. But dogs that don't adapt well to change, even though it's only been a couple of months, it's been a significant change to their normal routine. And some animals get very attached to their routine. They like to know when certain things are going to happen within their day. So those are the animals that are probably not going to cope as well. So, yeah, we really need to try and ease them into the transition. But if people do find that they're out of their depth and they're having real problems and they're really concerned, there are people who can help, professionals out there who can assist them work with their animal to help them cope.
Is there a type of dog that doesn't cope better than others? Like, is there a breed?
So anecdotally, in my work, I see quite a few staffies that have separation anxiety. Staffies, so it's breeds that tend to form very, very close bonds with their owners. Are the ones that really don't like it when they're suddenly left home alone.
So I've got a cattle dog Doberman cross Staffy. How do you think I'm going to go?
Hopefully you'll be okay. So the cattle dog aspect, a lot of enrichment, what we call environmental enrichment, or things to do, things to keep the dog occupied when you're not there, giving them a job to do can also help as well. But yeah, you just want to try and
garden.
make
Start doing the weeding, Pam.
Pam, love, I said you got to unload the dishwasher and do the garden. What have you been doing all day?
I'll give you some pocket money, Schmacko.
It's worth a try.
I can imagine cat owners out there being like, we're fine. Don't even worry about it.
We are all good. Oh, well, Dr. Kate, thanks so much for coming on. Animal behaviouralist from Pets Behaving Badly. We will get you on if we ever need you again for any other animal questions, and I'm sure I will.
Thanks for having me.